Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Board of Head Study Program Secretary, PIC of International Class, distinguished guests, faculty member, and beloved lecturers and students here today. Welcome to our special event, interactive workshop and tester lecture, Artificial Intelligence in Action. So, first and foremost, to our Honorable Mrs. Idola Perdini Putri, PhD, Director of Postgraduate and Advanced Learning Telkom University, Dr. Muhammad Deni Akbar, as a Manager of Postgraduate and International Class at Telkom University, Mrs. Yulisun Haryani, PhD, Assistant Manager of International Class Academic Office, Telkom University, and our esteemed guest, Dr. Awida Kaur, Head of Digital Technology and Machine Intelligence, Associate Professor from WIMG University of Warwick, UK. And I will also like to express my deepest gratitude to IBEC, Indonesian Britain Education Center, as well as University of Warwick, UK. Thank you for your support and presence here. I'm Gia Arifina Dwi-Utami, and I will be your master of ceremony for today's session. So to begin our event now, let's start with a prayer first to bless the today events. Please pray according to your own beliefs. Praise begins. Praise never ends. Thank you. Now, before we start to the main agenda, I would like to invite all of you to raise and joining us to singing Indonesian anthem, Indonesia Raya, and followed by Mars Telkom University.
Satukan tekad bersama, padukan langkah, bawa bangsa menuju garis depan. Raih cita radu asa, singsingkan lengan, tingkatkan inovasi, unggulan dan prestasi. Semua demi keluhuran bangsa, masyarakat adil, bangsa sejahtera. Laksanakan pendidikan dengan semangat pengabdian, ciptakan kehidupan gemilang. Telkom University, kebanggaan Pertiwi, maju dengan karya, berperan bagi bangsa, bagi Indonesia, bagi dunia. Telkom University, sinergi bangun negeri, maju dalam ilmu pengetahuan. Satukan tekad bersama, padukan langkah, bawa bangsa menuju garis depan. Raih cita rajut asa, sing-singkan lengan, tingkatkan inovasi, unggulan berprestasi. Semua demi keluhuran bangsa, masyarakat adil makmur sejahtera. Laksanakan pendidikan dengan semangat pengabdian, ciptakan kehidupan gemilang. Telkom University, kebanggaan Pertiwi, maju dengan karya, berperan bagi bangsa, bagi Indonesia, bagi dunia.
Sit again. Please, I will invite you to take a moment for today's event. Please, everyone, to go to the center of the venue so we can take a picture together. Okay, we can go to the center for everyone. So. Okay. Yeah, please to, okay, thank you. I will count to 1, 2, 3. Okay, another pose, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's take a picture for hey pose, okay? Harmony, harmony. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Excellent. 1, 2, 3. Integrity. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you everyone. Let's get back to the seat. Okay, now we will get to the next agenda with an opening speech delivered by our Manager of Postgraduate and International Class Telkom University to Dr. Muhammad Deni Akbar. Please, time and place is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Dear honorable guest, Dr. Awinder Kaur, and also Pak Satya Dihendra as the director of IBEC, Indonesian Britain Education Center, and also all beloved students, and also the PIC of international class, and also the all lecturer that come in this moment also. For us, this is the true honor that welcome all of you in inspiring event. That the title is interactive workshop, and also the tester lecturer, sorry. And also the topic and title here today is Artificial Intelligence in Action. Today marks not just a workshop, but hopefully will be meaningful event for us, because we will get, I think, insightful from the University of Warwick, from the Dr. Awinder Kaur, and also we do hope that we can get the update artificial intelligence not only in Indonesia, but also maybe in UK and also in another country, that we can also know about what the application of artificial intelligence today is. And also, in Telkom University, we proud that we have the rector or president, Professor Dr. Suyanto, STMSC. He is one of the artificial intelligence scientists, and also he is the top 2% most influential scientist in the world. And also the topic is regarding the artificial intelligence. Under his leadership, the Telkom University also clear mission to become a global center of AI-based education and innovation that is entrepreneurial, inclusive, and also impactful in university. And also, as the Prof. Suyanto envisioned, he said that with a strong combination between science, engineering, and also social humanities, I believe that Telkom University can contribute significantly to the world in realizing Industry 5.0. And are that the champion mass customization, human-centric innovation, and also resilience, and also sustainability. And to our enthusiastic student, today you are opportunity not only understand about the AI, but to experience it up close and also in action. Ask the question, be curious, their new thing, and also most importantly, think about of you and can apply AI to solve the real world problems. And also in the international class, we also invite, I think, many collaboration with Dr. Awinder Kaur and also Pak Satya Hendra. We in the international class and also postgraduate, we have many program collaboration with also another university. Maybe we do hope that Warwick University and also from the IBEC also we can also do partnership. We have some program like the COIL, Collaborative International Learning, that we do online between the Telkom University and also the partner from the others university. And also on July we have also Global Learning of the Week, that we invited all the lecturer from another university. We invite come here to give lecture for our student also. And also, I think not only that, we also can do maybe the many collaboration regarding research, because we also focusing in also AI research and others. So we do hope that we can also have the many collaboration between us, between Telkom University, with University of Warwick, and also with the IBEC also. I think this is just my short speech. Enjoy with this event. Together we can also build the future where AI is not only smart, but meaningful, human-centered, and also sustainable. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for Mr. Denny Akbar for a wonderful speech. Now we go to the next main agenda. So I'm pleased to introduce the moderator for today's event. She is the Assistant Manager of International Class Academic Office at Telkom University, and also she completed her most studies at Kwangwon University in Korea, majoring in computer science. Please let's give her a warm welcome, Mrs. Yulisun Haryani. Give applause, please.
Thank you for the warm welcome for all of you. Semangat pagi. Okay, that's our chance. So we have always the spirit of the morning spirit of every along the day, like this kind of. Okay, I hope you are doing well and ready for today's exciting session. And my name is Yulisun Haryani. I'm the moderator for today's general lecture and interactive workshop. And it is a pleasure to see everyone here, to our manager of postgraduate and international class, our respected lecturers that come in today, and of course, our enthusiastic students that come in and fill in the room today. And also, it is including the international and regular class in our university. And welcome and thank you for joining us today. So, as we all know, that the AI, the artificial intelligence, is over. It's not in the future; it is here. It is changing the way we live, changing how we work, and also how we think, from the healthcare, transportation, education, and creative industry. AI is everywhere. It has become a powerful tools for the transformation. And today, we are very fortunate to have with us a distinguished expert who will share the global insight and real-world example on how AI is truly revolutioning our industries. Please allow me to introduce our speaker for today, Associate Professor Dr. Awinder Kaur from the University of Warwick, United Kingdom. She is the head of Digital Technologies and Machine Intelligence Education Group at WMG University of Warwick. She leads a multidisciplinary team and oversees a wide range of academic programs, including artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and also the games engineering. And her work focuses on building the future-ready talent and driving innovation through digital technologies. With her extensive experience in both academia and also in an industry engagement, we are very truly insightful and inspiring session like this. So please give her a warm welcome, round of applause. Dr. Awinder Kaur, please come to the floor.
Okay, while we wait for the slides, I'll just introduce myself. Yes, there you go. Let me see whether I can change it. Okay, yeah, it works. So a very good morning to all of y'all. Selamat pagi. And before I start, any guesses where I'm from? The ones who already know, you can't really guess. I am working in the UK, but I'm originally from somewhere else. Any guesses? Yes? No. I can give you a clue. It's your neighboring country. No, closer than that. It's just literally next door. Malaysia. Yes, I am Malaysian. I have been in the UK for many years. I did my PhD in New Zealand, and then I moved to the UK in 2015, and I have been there since then. So I am Malaysian. I can speak Bahasa. I can understand Bahasa. So Selamat pagi is something very normal for me, because that's what I do. So let me introduce myself a little bit. This is my building. This is where I actually am, which is in University of Warwick. That is actually at Coventry. It is, I'm sure you know London. Everyone knows London. This is roughly an hour train from London, the fast one, and about 10 to 15 minutes away from Birmingham. But that's a little bit about my building itself, because I want you to know me as well during this session. So I am head of group for digital technologies and machine intelligence. I look after 9 courses, which is MSc, BSc, and apprenticeship courses at WMG. It is a department within University of Warwick. I have developed the first MSc Applied AI course. I'm also leading in industry collaboration, including executive education programs on AI, digital analytics, with large companies like Tata Autocom Systems, JLR, and other companies. JLR is Jaguar Land Rover, if you do not already know. So that is a picture of me delivering after the delivery of the JLR program. Yes. Yes, this one. Let's try. Okay, now I think it's better. Okay, so this is my group. This is the people that I look after, and some of them were not there as well. So I head this entire group. I have a couple of deputies, and they are here as well. Now, my first question before we start, have you met AI of today? Yes? Can you give me examples of AI of today? ChatGPT. Who here doesn't use ChatGPT? You do not use ChatGPT. Very good. You use Gemini? Or you use Cloud? No. Wow. I don't believe you, but okay, I will trust to believe you. Because let's just say, anyone here does not use AI? That's a better question. Anyone here does not use AI? Why? Because you do use AI. You are using AI, whether you believe it or not. So in Netflix, if you watch Netflix, you are using AI because that is actually powered by AI. Shopee is using AI. Hey Siri is using AI. Google Maps is using AI. TikTok is using AI. So that is really AI in action. Everything that you're doing these days has AI embedded in it, whether you know it or not. They use digital analytics, but that is elements of AI implemented in it. Otherwise, it can't operate because people don't have time to do all the work that they are supposed to. They want to be fast, efficient, and they want to process data as much as possible. So automate all their processes. So this is really AI in action. Netflix and Spotify. AI recommends shows and music you will love. Shopee and Lazada. Smart shopping suggestion tailored to you. I know Lazada and Shopee, not because of the UK, but because of Malaysia, because every time I talk to my family, they are buying something from Shopee and Lazada. It is not popular in Malaysia, in the UK at all, because we use Amazon and so many others. Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistants, voice AIs that help you stay organized. Google Map and Waze, AI finds the fastest, smartest route. I'm sure when you're talking to your friends, you would realize that somehow or the other suggestions are actually there on your phone. If you're discussing that you should actually purchase a book or shoes or anything like that, any communication that happens is somehow transferred back or translated back into your Instagram as suggestion that you should purchase something, right? Because they are always listening. Whether you believe it or not, one search on Google and the next minute it appears on Instagram, it appears on your TikTok, everywhere you will see some ad or the other. And can I ask you a question? Because this is an interactive one, I do want you to be engaged. Do you think Facebook is free? Do you think Instagram is free? Do you think the loyalty cards that you go to purchase things in the supermarket is free? Why is it not free? Because you're paying with your data. Data is the most important element. So essentially, you're paying with your data, which is why it is never free. But essentially, AI is just a tool that is used to support with the data that they gather. That is essentially what AI is doing. But there are pros and cons, and I will be going through all of that in this session as well. I'm sure you're already well versed with AI, but I'm bringing another element, which is what we are doing in the UK, my understanding of it, knowledge, experience of it. So moving on to the next slide. We will get there. Okay. I want to ask you some questions and you say yes or no. Okay, the first one. True or false, AI recreated Kurt Cobain's voice for a new song? Yes or no? How many yeses? How many no's? How many on the fence? Yes, it's a yes. Okay, you're on the fence. Okay, I like that. Now, the thing is, you all are students, right? You should be able to voice your opinion. Yes, no, on the fence, please go ahead. I like the fact that he said on the fence, because that is true. At the end of the day, you are our future. So don't be afraid, because I don't think you should feel uncomfortable with me. Please voice it. There's no right, wrong, because none of us know this either, unless you do a bit of research about it. Okay, the second one. AI wrote a novel that was long listed for a literary prize. Yes. How many yeses? Yes. Yes. How many no's? How many on the fence? On the fence shouldn't even be an answer, but I'm being kind to you and actually allowing it as an answer, right? How many doesn't want to voice their opinions or doesn't want to actually put their hands up? That's probably it. But you might think of it, yes or no. I will reveal it. An AI became the CEO of a Chinese company. How many yeses? Come on, be brief. How many yes? You're not going to get any marks for this, so you can be honest. Okay? How many no's? How many on the fence? Okay, 2 on the fence. So I will actually reveal the answer, which is all true. That's the power of AI. A few days ago, I was actually reading in a news in the UK. They are going to, they have a school that's going to offer GCSE studies to 20 students that is taught by AI. And these 20 students will go for it because they are curious, they want to see how it works, so their studies will be personalized and it will be obviously catered to their needs. Now, again, there is other aspects of it, because imagine if you, instead of me, you have an AI robot here. You'll be fascinated. You'll be very excited about it. But if I teach you every week as an AI robot, I think it will be quite challenging, because you want human being here, understanding your needs as well, right? So there are pros and cons again. Now, why is it AI is so popular? Why has AI made the world move in a way that everyone is asking about AI? Because I do a lot of work within this space, even with industry. And everyone is asking me, how can I actually move in the direction of AI, because I don't want to be left behind. I do need an understanding. But why? It's because of data. Data is the fundamentals of AI. Data creation has exploded. Every minute, the world generates more than 2 million gigabytes of data. You send texts, you send videos, you send voice notes, you send images. All of those are data. Every second that you text your friends, you actually send images to your friends or do any work in the space, that is really data. You are generating a lot of data. But digital analytics tools is there to support you, to inform your decisions. But you need a tool to actually support you, to automate the processes, to make it even better. Use machine learning to learn stuff so that you don't have to key in. Anyone that uses ChatGPT will know. If you actually ask ChatGPT, please describe me, they might not describe you accurately, 100% accurately, but if you have used it long enough, it can kind of describe you adequately, right? Because your patterns, what you key in, they understand you. That's machine learning in action. So AI thrives on data, turning into insights and actions. To leverage AI's power, we need a skilled workforce that understands data fundamentals. Now, you can belong to any field. You can belong to anything, finance, healthcare, marketing. Every element has data involved in it. everyone is actually looking at jumping into the bandwagon of AI because it is so popular. They do need to know it. If they don't learn it, they will be left behind. But does every department within a company need to actually implement AI? No. The answer is no. Why? Because AI is not there for everything. It's not an answer for everything because there are a lot of flaws as well, which I will discuss in a bit. By 2025, 181 zettabytes of data will be created globally, equivalent to 90 trillion HD movies. This is by end of this year. This is the prediction. With this explosion, data has become as essential as oil, but needs refining to unlock its value. Oil has always been the most valuable thing on earth. Yes, but data is equally as important in this day and age. How many of y'all, when you use any sort of AI, for example, ChatGPT, you actually take your entire email and actually place it in ChatGPT? How many of y'all do that? That shouldn't be the way you do that because they understand you. It's your data that you are actually sharing in there. You should always be protecting your data. The value of your data is, you wouldn't realize now, but every other company realizes it. That's why you need to protect your data. You need to make sure how it is actually processed. Where do you place it? Which public forum you have it in? Because it's always hold there. Somehow or the other, it can be used. If I have your data, I can create a number of credit cards on your name and fully utilize it. And that is one of the scenarios. There are many other scenarios of it. So taking care of it is really essential. So coming back to data itself, it powers learning. AI learns by spotting patterns in huge data sets. You will have huge data sets, and it can help you find patterns. So in this university, can you imagine the university actually having all your records through spreadsheet or Excel and processing all your admission through Excel? Is that possible? Not possible because your data is a lot. Everyone can't do that, which is why they actually have AI to support it or digital analytics tools to support it, or tools like enterprise resource planning or databases that actually support with all of this. Quality counts. Clean, diverse data equals to better, fairer results. Have you heard of garbage in, garbage out? Yes? Good data goes in, you get good outputs, you make better decisions. But if you include bad data, you have a problem. Later, I'll actually give you some of the cons of what has happened. In terms of bad data, biased data, how does it actually translate? So the data that goes in has to be as accurate. So when I talk to different companies, they have told me problems that different departments and all, you have many different departments even in this university, but if you go to any organization, right? So they have their own systems. So sales will have their own systems. And then you go to another department, which is marketing. They might have their own tools that they use. The data could be from 10 years ago, and someone would have inputted it wrongly. And then what do you have? And they don't talk to each other. So these are the real-world problems in organizations. If you input right data, you manage right data, you actually get better outputs, you make better decisions. So this is some aspects of it in terms of the quality. And then Insight Machine transforms raw data into smart decisions. You can have a lot of data and not capable for a human to actually do any sort of transforming to better insights. There is a whole aspect which is data-driven decision making, which companies are coming to me for. Why? Because they have a lot of data, but they don't know how to actually make decisions through it. And which is why they are asking me help, they are asking me support. How do I actually support them to make better decisions out of it? So having that insights from data is also really essential. Always growing. 2.5 quintillion bytes daily, which includes or which equates to limitless AI potential. You have so much of data. Which of it is useful? If you observe your phone itself right now, how much you have text. This morning, did you use your phone for texting and all? Did you send messages? Yes? How much of messages you would have sent, even this morning? And that is already a lot of data, which is being exchanged online, right? But you can imagine the power of data itself, because these are the things. For example, I will give you an example of a company. A company wants to understand how much of, or Netflix wants to understand how many people in Bandung actually purchases or subscribes to Netflix, right? And what are their preferences? Is it Indonesian movies or international movies? So how do they actually capture that data? It's what you watch. How do you select it? Do you thumbs up? Do you double thumbs up? Do you thumbs down? All of that is actually data for them, because they get to understand you as a customer, the region as a customer, the city as a customer, based on what you like and what you watch. Do you complete the movie? Because sometimes I get bored and I just watch a little bit and then I leave it. If data is that good or AI is that good, it can actually capture whether those are the kind of movies and how am I as a consumer. And then I can translate it to better decisions. So those are some of the examples that I have, but I have so many. So AI is only as powerful as the data behind it. High quality, diverse data enables AI to unlock its true potential across various industries. Now, 4 examples that I have actually included here, which comes from the UK. So the first one is NHS and AI in stroke diagnosis. So Brainomix eStroke, an AI tool, and Oxford spinout helps NHS clinician detect strokes in under 2 minutes using CT or MRI scans. Imagine that. Right? Imagine within 2 minutes you can actually detect this. And this is again the power of AI, how it has actually helped with healthcare itself. So NHS is our UK healthcare system. We are all subscribed on it. It's not the most efficient. They still need a lot more work to do to become better, but these are some of the efforts that they are actually taking, and it's really brilliant. It has improved treatment speed, increased thrombectomy rates by 55%, and reduced transfer times by 40%. What it means is blood clots, detecting blood clots in faster than ever by 55%, which is brilliant. The tool was recognized through the NHS AI in Healthcare and Health and Care Award and supports the NHS long-term plan for stroke care. So this is something that we have done in the UK. Now, Rolls-Royce. Of course, you have heard of Rolls-Royce cars. I love it. It looks beautiful. So whenever I'm working with Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Jaguar, Land Rover, all these companies, all I ask them is, so when am I going to get the free car? Okay, I'm Malaysian. I would ask, okay? They only told me that they can give me the model car. That's as best that I get, but I try. Being Asian, you always try to negotiate as best as you can. You don't get it, it's a different thing, but you try, right? I was like, I did all this work for you, so where's my car as a gift? But apparently they only give me the model car, better than nothing. But working with them and many other companies that I have worked with, they are all asking for predictive maintenance, because you have a lot of machinery. But if you don't know how to predict when it needs to be maintained, then you have a problem, because you only know how to fix after it's already broken. Right? So a lot of companies, including Tata, has asked me for the same thing, which is predictive maintenance. AI predicts engine faults before failures, optimizes the maintenance cycles, saves millions in downtimes, and improves safety and efficiency. So they are doing a lot of work in this space, and AI is supporting them. So as you can see, and this, what I want to also emphasize, This company, obviously, they're doing extremely well. They are doing AI, but in certain parts of the company, that's still a lot of work. And no matter what degree you belong to, you will, if you learn digital technologies, like what you were told just now during the speech as well, that you have a lot of support here in terms of AI and everything. For you to learn AI, digital analytics tools, it's going to be very valuable for your future. No matter what field you go into, you can go to digital marketing, you can go to sales, you can go to anything, healthcare, whatever it is. If you understand digital technologies, it's going to benefit you. Because that's what everyone, even the recruiters are looking for that, because it gives you a competitive edge. But even within this company, there's so much of work that needs to be done within AI, within digital analytics. Sorry. So this is our Ocado, which is where I purchase my groceries. So how many of y'all still go out to buy clothes? Yes? How many of y'all buy it online? Yep. So there are a lot of people buying online compared to the ones who actually go out and actually buy or purchase clothes, right? But for me, I usually buy groceries online because I'm getting lazier and lazier day by day. I'm so busy and I want the fastest and simplest way, which is just order groceries. And Ocado is the one that I usually use because it has every brand. Marks and Spencer's, Waitrose, different ones, even Sainsbury's. So they have many different ones that they actually cater for. But what they are doing in terms of their warehouse efficiency using AI, they are actually controlling their smart robots to optimize packing, reduce waste, and cut emissions. One of the most important things for us these days is sustainability. And cutting in emissions is really important. How do you actually pick, pack, and also transfer it in terms of logistically in a very sustainable way is also essential. So they are doing a lot of work in this space. Enables just-in-time inventory and energy-efficient operations. Contributes to lower carbon footprints of online retail logistics. So what they have here is the robotic hive system, which is a swarms of robots operating on grid system to efficiently pick and pack groceries. You have to design your robots in a smart way so that it can find or pick and pack all the groceries for you. Human doing it will delay things. In the UK, we have Amazon one-day delivery. So we expect one-day delivery. How is it possible for them to deliver to so many people around? They have robots in the warehouse to support them with a lot of the work. You still have human intervention, but we will move to a way that a lot of work will be done or automated in terms of processes. But this is actually happening as well, which is why I get my groceries quite quickly. And I don't know whether I can play this video, but even if I can't, I can tell you, I'm sure you have watched this, where you know this guy, yes? I'm sure a lot of football fans here, yes? The funny part is in the UK, I always tell them, I say Malaysians are crazy about football. They know Liverpool, Manchester United, and everything. I think it's the same thing in Indonesia. It's the same culture that you all probably know a lot more about football than many of the people in the UK. But that craze is there, right? So with him, he spoke 7 languages, but that was made through deepfake, right? But why is it good? Why is it important to have this? Because you connect with people from different countries as well. Even though it's deepfake, it already feels very good that having our superstar actually connect with us. And you can play it, because I'm happy to share my slides later. You can play it at your own time. But basically, him speaking 7 languages is pretty slick and very interesting. Why not, right? But it is actually the power of AI. There are a lot of bad part about deepfake as well, because essentially you need consent, you need to ensure that it's ethical and a lot of things. Because half of the time these days, if you see on Instagram and TikTok and all of that, you don't even know whether the video is real or the photo is real anymore. And that is where we have an issue as well. Okay, so moving on. I have also given some examples of closer to our countries, right? Including Malaysia. So why is AI so important? There's a lot of effort within our region. A lot of effort here. So regional AI data center boom. In Malaysia, Johor and Selangor, Google and Microsoft investing billions in new AI and cloud data centers. That's actually happening. In Singapore, regional hub for AI-driven infrastructure with centers by AWS, Google, Microsoft, and Alibaba. The impact is it's fueling a lot of jobs in AI, in cloud, in data science across Asia. And what I want to say again is, it doesn't mean that if you are not from the data or AI field, you are actually left behind. No, people still need every skills. But what you need to do is always ensure that you are keeping up with the technology. You are learning. I usually don't have a problem with my students using AI, but they shouldn't be using it during assignment or task. Why? Because they stop thinking. And I don't want students that do not have any critical thinking. If you actually copy, I have spoken to students who copied directly from AI and actually included it, and you ask them a question and they don't know. But that's not the graduates that we want. A few days ago, I saw one of my classmates from school, because I'm still connected with all my friends, even from school, up to kindergarten. So she actually posted this, that we are the generation that graduated without AI or ChatGPT. We should be really proud. But what my hopes for the next generation is, use AI, learn AI, but obviously do not forget about your critical thinking, because you should be originally producing your work. Otherwise, it's not going to be your work. But coming back to this, it is boosting local AI innovation, smart cities, and digital transformation because of all the work that is being done in this area. So learn the technology and use it obviously appropriately. Sometimes I use AI like a critical friend. Just somebody to understand how I can organize things. Time is very valuable for me. So when time becomes my enemy, I need to find more productive ways. And this is what I use AI for. I've also given an example about Singapore's AI-driven traffic management systems. Real-time traffic management cuts congestion, reduces pollution, which has resulted in 20% improvement in traffic flow and a significant CO2 reduction. AI is actually supporting cities and making it more livable, and you cut a lot of the commute time. So imagine Jakarta, or even Bandung, right? With some sort of AI supporting it with its smart city, and you have better traffic. Would that be an amazing Bandung or Jakarta? Yes, but I think you all will just not recognize the city anymore. Because today, while we were driving in, I was like, wow, there's a lot of traffic. But apparently, it is good traffic. It's not bad traffic. So with bad traffic means I think we don't move at all. But that is the power of technology. That is where you unlock it. Unfortunately, a lot of city planners, I'm talking about Malaysia as well, that they haven't planned well. They haven't planned for how you are going to grow in the next 5 years and 10 years. How are your traffic lights are actually working? How many minutes do you spend? Which is the peak time? Which is not the peak time? There's so much work that you can do in this space. But that's where you have data supporting you. It tells you which is the pattern. I also understand that normally during weekends, people from Jakarta come to Bandung, right? And that means congestion. So much of traffic congestions. But what can you do? That's something that I want you to think about as well, because you should be contributing to the society. You should not have a career where you don't have any outputs or contribution to your country, your city, and all of that, right? So think about that aspect as well. Now, what is Gen AI? You know AI, but what is Gen AI? Right? So ChatGPT and all, right? So uses large data sets to learn patterns and generate new content, can create text, images, music, videos, and even code. So for example, ChatGPT writing stories, DALL-E generating artwork, AI music composition. So I will go through the next slide about the mashups and all, but the next bit of it is PayPal. Generates synthetic fraud data to improve security. When you look at banks here, which is your biggest bank here? Or any of the bank? BCA, okay? If BCA wants to create some sort of fraud detection tool, okay? They want to actually create a tool like that. Right? Do they use your data to create it? Because your data is given to the developer. You don't want that because your data should be safe, right? So what AI is doing is creating synthetic data that goes on your fraud detection tool, and it helps you, do the same work, but without your data being included. Isn't that better? Because you don't want your data, your passwords, your security, your information about your address and all to be given to another developer, right? So that's what AI is doing. It's creating even synthetic data to support with this. And this is a rap between Shakespeare and AI rapper. That's what Shakespeare actually said, and this is what your AI rapper actually said. Imagine how it detects patterns as well, because a lot of music is being created. But would you want to hear AI music, or do you want to hear the real artist music? Yeah. How many of y'all would go into an autonomous vehicle or a driverless vehicle? How many of y'all is daring enough to sit in a driverless car? I always have one or two. I'm surprised no one in Indonesia trusts this. I mean, look at the drivers in Indonesia. You should be happy that you are in a driverless car. No one will actually go. Every class that I have, at least one person is brave enough. But all of you rather not trust a driverless car, right? But it is true. Even I wouldn't want to trust it. Why? Because I think technology is still evolving. But with the power of AI, it learns data, it understands data, and we will come to a point that it's going to be a norm. Years ago, probably not your generation, well, probably yes, you wouldn't have been born with touch-screen phones, were you? I don't think so. Where mobile phones used to be quite different compared to here, but we have accepted it. A lot of things we have accepted throughout our lives. So what makes it different? Eventually, it will become normal. That's how technology evolves. After a while, driverless cars will be something which is a norm, right? So coming to this example as well of Gucci's virtual try-on. Uses generative AI to render clothing on customer photos, helping users visualize their purchases. That's so much better than going to the shop. Especially during COVID, we have learned that. Right? But imagine from the comfort of your home, you can already visualize it. We do a lot of that in the UK because a lot of things we actually visualize, put it in our table, desk and all, try to see how it visualizes and everything, so we don't need to get the stuff before we actually try it on. So virtual try-on. So Gucci is doing a lot of work, but they are trained on extensive data of styles, colors, and body metrics. It's all about the data that you feed into it. They are trained based on whatever that they have collected. I also want you to look at AI in sustainability and climate. Can AI save the planet? Google's DeepMind reducing energy in data centers by 40%, which has been beneficial. AI in agriculture, crop prediction, smart irrigation. A lot of work is being done in the UK, in Malaysia, I'm sure a lot in Indonesia as well. So can Indonesia lead the world in AI agri-tech? That's something that I want you to think about as well. Okay, so while I have discussed all the benefits of it, what are the issues with it, the flip side of AI? So I can give you a couple of examples of UK and also other countries. In the UK, the Department of Work and Pension, DWP, AI system wrongly flagged thousands of low-income claimants, causing unjust denials of benefits. Imagine that has happened. Imagine how bad it is, because these are people on benefits. They need money. And that has happened because of the model itself, the data that is fed into it, and every other aspect, and that has caused a problem. So what could have been done in this sense? Shouldn't a human check it before it went out, right? That could have prevented it, but that has actually happened. UK Network Rail used AI to scan passengers' emotions via CCTV without consent, sparking privacy backlash. Imagine that actually happens in class. While you're coming to class, they are scanning your emotions. How would you feel if they are doing that? Would that be something you are comfortable with? Yes, you will file a lawsuit, of course. Right? But that is the truth. You don't want your emotions to be captured, right? But that could be beneficial in a way. They can understand whether it's smiling, happy, sad. But the thing is, I always believe that humans are unpredictable. Even though sometimes we can smile, but maybe it was a stressful day. Or if we go for an interview and they actually implement that, they start studying your body language based on that. And it was just a day that you feel very nervous, but that's not you. You could have said something differently, but your body language could show something differently. So how do you actually balance that aspect as well? It's all about ethics within AI. But obviously that has caused a lot of problems. And then in Netherlands, the welfare scandal. AI flagged at-risk families for fraud based on postcode and ethnicity, ruled discriminatory by Dutch courts. Imagine that they started flagging people at risk based on their ethnicity. Obviously, we belong to countries that is minority as well. So imagine that we get flagged for that. So obviously, this is not right. The key message here is when AI systems are uncountable or biased, they hurt the people they are supposed to help. And I'll give you more examples as well. US Amazon recruitment AI, trained on 10 years of resumes or CVs, ended up downgrading female candidates. So what happened here is they actually looked through all the CVs, right? Because they inputted it on AI. The only people that were being shortlisted for interviews were white, male, middle-aged. And what is the problem there? It's not that the data was inaccurate, but that is what used to happen with the recruitment. So you have actually included all the information, and that is based on people's biases. Every one of us has some sort of bias or not. If you tell me you don't have any biasness, I wouldn't believe you, because even I have. For example, someone within this city hasn't been nice to me, so I'll be like, oh, I don't really trust anyone from Bandung, for example. This is an example, by the way. So it's the same in Malaysia, Sabah, oh no, I wouldn't want to trust. All of us have some sort of biasness or the other, and that sometimes gets translated. Why? Because it's human biasness, right? And that actually happened. Facial recognition for surveillance in China, used to track ethnic minorities, sparked global human rights concerns, because imagine that they look at all the ethnic minorities, and that has caused a lot of problems. And then in South Korea, AI-powered interview systems criticized for assessing facial expressions, tone, and body language, high risk, high bias risk. So AI isn't neutral, it reflects the bias in the data it's trained on. Right? It could be the developer, it could be the data itself, it could be the method of processing. Everything can have some biasness or the other. Now, what do we do to kind of like mitigate this? What do we do in this aspect? Responsible AI, which is the way forward. Transparency. People should know when and how AI is being used. Have you ever wondered how ChatGPT is being used? Where does the data go? Have you ever wondered it, right? You are curious to see where the data is going because you're giving all the data out. So obviously you do have concerns, right? And how do you actually respond? Because you need to have transparency of how it's being processed. And when you're working in a company, you would be looking at that aspect as well. Before you actually feed your data in, before you do anything, you do need to understand the model itself, how it is trained, and so on. Fairness. Train AI on diverse, inclusive data. When you're doing your interviews for, let's say, your final year project, do you interview only one person? No. Why not? Because you're only going to listen to one opinion. So, for example, if I ask two of them, right? Maybe you all are both friends, right? And this person says, I ask about you to her, and she's going to say, oh, she's amazing. But I ask the rest and all, I will have a more diverse view and more non-biased view, right? That is what happens here with AI as well. You need diverse data, diverse opinions, so that you have a balanced view. Accountability. Systems must be explained and auditable, because you just can't have a system just like that without any explanation. Or how are you using it? Where is the data going? How is it processed? Because all the time, any sort of software that we want to actually implement in my university, we do need to check and see if it's third party, where is the data going to be processed? We just can't be, giving out all our data or what we actually are doing. Examples of actions that are being done in EU and worldwide. EU AI Act, strict rules on high-risk AI systems. UNESCO's ethical AI guidelines. So it is all useful. Ethics is one of the most important bit of AI. So we need ethical AI champions. Could that be you? That's something that I want you to think about as well. A question to ponder before I describe a little bit about my department. I want you to think about this as we shape AI. How do we ensure AI is also shaping a better, fairer world? This is something that I want you to think of. Because we are accepting AI, because we are using it already. But how do we know it's shaping a better, fairer world? That's something that I want you to think of as well. So the future direction of AI, human-AI collaboration, where we shift from automation to augmentation. AI as a co-pilot, not a replacement. When I did a talk in a games company in Indonesia last year, March, one of the questions that was asked from an artist there to me, will AI replace my job? Yeah, it's a tough question to answer, because I don't know the answer. Because I don't know what the future is going to look like. I cannot predict the future, and technology moves faster than any one of us can predict. But what could you do is to learn the technology. The better you will be good in your area, because essentially technology is there to make your life better. A lot of us use our phones. Why? Because we want our life to be better. We don't have to walk and go and meet somebody, or we can just text them. We don't have to call them. We can use texting to do it. A lot of us want to make our life better, but the human aspect is always going to be the most important aspect. So AI should be a co-pilot, not a replacement for you. You learn the technology to make your life more efficient. Responsible AI at scale. Embedding ethics, fairness, and sustainability in every stage of AI is very important. You need to ensure that you have the fairness and transparency also there. AI for net zero, growth in AI-driven solutions for climate modeling, energy optimization, and circular economy is essential. And AI in education, because that's something that I'm doing a lot with, personalizing education, understanding how I develop my curriculum so that it is the digital age curriculum, and data-informed curriculum design. Why data and AI skills are the future? 80% of companies face a shortage of AI skills. Data and AI skills means more job opportunities in high impact sectors. So it is important to build the skills. All of you all, no matter what field you belong to, learn these skills because it's going to be useful. AI is just not transforming industries, it is creating a more efficient, responsive, and sustainable world. Learn, engage, and be part of AI-driven future. You need to empower yourself with the skills that is needed. Now, a little bit about my department before I finish, which is my department, which is a top 10 university in the UK, so I'm working there. Part of the prestigious Russell Group. So in the US, we have Ivy League. In the UK, we have Russell Group. So we are part of it. It is ranked 67 in the world based on QS World Ranking. Whatever that I teach is really hands-on and applied learning, real-world projects, simulation, and case studies. Strong industry connections, which is why I work very closely with industry. Career-ready graduates, alumni working in top companies worldwide like Google and so on, because one of my staff who we hired as a lecturer, her other half, who she met through the course as well, he's working in Google. Global network, 27,000 alumni from 80 countries around the world. These are some of our partners. What are my responses in terms of this area of AI and data-driven decision-making? I have created a lot of programs, exec level programs for big companies. So executive especially, because executive, we assume that they are going to just stay back, like your top president director, right? Who's here, who is actually a scientist in AI. Executives should really be enablers of AI and not just consumers, because when you have people who are higher up, who understand it well, they are actually pushing for it, it makes a big difference for an organization as well. And I have actually created also the MSc Applied AI, but we also have e-business management course, which is data science and analytics, and a little bit about my course itself that I have created, which is really designed to attract a diverse group of technical students looking for an applied course in AI. And also my e-business management course, which is the largest one that we have. It is #1 in the UK. It is data-driven focus, hands-on learning, and experts teaching. And that's our Instagram page. And jobs of the now within the AI and data side. If you have understanding, again, coming back to it, even if you don't belong to the AI area, there's a lot of jobs in this area if you actually know how to apply your current skills with technology. Is going to be very, very strong for you. So some of the jobs of the future, now and the future, is AI engineer, data scientist, machine learning engineer, business analyst, digital consultants, and there's something which is very unique here, ethical AI specialist. A lot of people don't know how important this is. When I was designing my applied AI course, I still remember a staff of mine actually saying that, why do we need ethics? I mean, that's a module that you are just including. We can put in more modules on other areas. I was like, no, it is the most important. And true enough, a lot of companies are coming to me because they don't know how to look at the governance, the ethics, the responsible AI. Every aspects of that. You can have AI, but you don't know what to do with it. How do you use it ethically? Should it replace humans? Should it actually scan your emotions? Should it be doing all of that? Those are the aspects that often we don't look at, but that's the most important thing. Use AI responsibly. It shouldn't be used for destruction. It shouldn't be used for a violation of anyone's privacy. That's all shouldn't be there. And also your own data. Protect your data. When you use ChatGPT, you shouldn't be putting all your work into it because it's all captured. Even though you untick it and say, please don't train the data, but the data is there. It's actually there. A bit about my department itself in terms of what makes our graduates stand out: real-world projects, applied learning, global career network, ethics and innovation focus, and interdisciplinary expertise, and also career-ready confidence. So a bit more about the courses that we have, and now over to you for any questions that you have. I hope this has been useful for you. I hope you have learned a lot from this, but feel free to ask me any questions.
Okay. So we have the...
Okay, it's working, okay. Thank you for the opportunity to ask a question. My name is Budi Sukarya. You can call me Budi. And my question is, how do creatives survive in this new era of AI? Because a lot of generative AI, they try to replicate creative works such as art, movies, and songs, and the likes. And as we know, AI, they have to learn from somewhere. So they're taking other people's works, and they create this collage that is the AI generated creative AI generated images or videos and the likes, and it's looking really really looking grim for like creatives, because a lot of people don't usually care about the creatives as much as they care what they see rather than how it is made. So how would you suggest creatives what should creatives do in these AI driven times? Thank you.
It's a very, very, very good question. The one thing that I can tell you is AI is not creative. The creativity part, it cannot replace humans yet. Even if it can replace humans, it's just basically learning from humans. So it's not going to kind of like tap into creativity, critical analysis. All of that still needs human. So in terms of an artist, especially with creativity, I don't think it's going to make much changes as of yet, because people are needed. You still need your creativity. If you look at, because I play a lot with AI, obviously I teach AI, I develop models in AI, I look at AI, it still hasn't reached the point of way that it can actually think like human. Human brains work differently. The way we create movies, if you see so many movies kind of thing, or art, it's very abstract and different. So I don't think you are going to worry about it, because it can never replace an actual human. In terms of emotions, for example, this is something that's often asked as well, because you have AI robots. If you would have seen in Japan and all, you have, there are many famous AI robots out there, but they haven't actually had real emotions. Although a few days ago, I did read that AI or ChatGPT has anxiety because the user just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. But is it really anxiety? It is a machine, it's not a human. So in terms of creativity, it will never ever replace human beings, because we are unpredictable people. Yes, you have a follow-up? Yes.
Thank you again. I guess I should stand up again. Okay, so maybe a broader question. That how do we convince? If that may be the case for more personal people like us maybe, but like how do we convince larger companies who are like venturing into AI to like cut down on spendings on like production for like advertising or video game production, where they opt to choose to use AI rather than using human actual people to source their art or their music or anything for when they want to create something, because I feel like that's also like a big factor in it, and that's why, and that is the main factor I bring the question up, because right now there's actually a lot of like layoffs in the video game industry because of big game companies choosing to use AI over like using the works of actual people. Thank you.
That's again another question, a very, very strong and good question, because how do we actually convince, companies not to invest, especially in terms of music industry and all of that, because they are doing a lot of investment in this area. And of course, there are many, many companies that are obviously replacing humans with AI, which is the reality of the one. Unfortunately, I can't tell you that there is a way of doing, because it is a profit-driven world. Everyone is really looking at how can we increase profit without paying that much, and if AI can actually replace, why not? But a lot of, obviously, artists, companies, and all of that, they are fighting back. So music, games, literature, every aspect of it, they are actually fighting back. But look at the consumers itself. Consumers still want originality. There is a huge, all of us, I don't think you want an AI singer. You do want, okay, it's exciting. 1 day, 2 days, you want to actually explore it. But you still need that human connection. For example, if I'm going to teach you, right? 1 day you will be happy with the AI robot teaching you because it's fascinating. Why not? Let's try to, see a robot here. But after that, you have different circumstances. Sometimes you just want me to understand that you don't understand a problem. And AI can't actually capture that. So unfortunately, we don't have control over how businesses are investing, and sometimes actually the government supports it because more and more startups are coming up, and that benefits the economy, right? Because we are selling it overseas, we are doing a lot of work in this space. So it is a profit-driven world and country, but in other words, you still cannot replace the originality of humans. So what we keep doing is we keep working in this direction, where we just be ourselves, do what we have to, but learn digital technologies, because that's going to only benefit you. You can have original music, but you will have tools to support you to create things in a way quicker. So productivity becomes better, efficiency becomes better, but not replacing the side of humans that needs the originality is where the world is going. And believe me, I've heard a lot of stories about companies trying to, because economy is not good and all, and global companies just want to replace with AI, which is really not the most ethical way of doing things. But at the end of the day, we either embrace technology or we get left behind. So I would say that there's no control, but what we can do is appreciate the originality, and as users keep embracing it. Okay? Yes.
Hi there. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Zul, and I'm here studying information systems. My query to you is, how do you personally feel about AI affecting the educational grounds for research for masters or masters and professors? Because I've, like, the other semester when I was on an exchange to NTU Singapore, I had a mentor which was a CCDS chairperson, and I talked to him about basically being with him during his research and many other professors, but like he's basically a front-end based or like a user based, but when I talk to him and engage in a conversation about how research is going to go in the next like 2 or 3 years, he keeps mentioning about how every single thing is gonna have AI included in it, like from education based on, for example, gamification of education. You want to talk about that? I have to insert AI into it. Oh, what about just general research into user experience within a certain app demographic? And he also mentions that, oh, I have to somehow use AI in it. My question to you is, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that other related fields will always have to have some sort of AI put into it? Because personally, I'm a very user experience kind of person, and during my time in NTU, I took AI and everything, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. So it's just a bit suffocating, especially trying to look for scholarships in the future. Thank you.
Okay, so you had a very, very good question again, and I appreciate that, because the thing is, a lot of us are moving in that direction, whether it's research, because every research that you see, even in Malaysia, when I was actually there as a keynote speaker, I've actually observed what they were discussing, and a lot of research in agri-tech, in healthcare, or sustainability, it all has AI embedded, because the thing is, it has pros and cons. If I look at the pros, it is actually helping in identifying. For example, I saw a whole research about identifying the specimens of insects, because you have so many different specimens. But because of AI, the researcher itself has been able to identify the specimen of each insect really quickly. And that's helping with the ecosystem as well, which are the protected insects, what should we be doing for that area and everything. But that's an example of research. A lot of research as well is being done with AI embedded. But there are still areas which are untouched as well. But most of it are jumping on the bandwagon to ensure that it's more productive and efficient. But there are many other issues that I have mentioned as well in terms of the data. If it's inaccurate, you shouldn't be using it. Even when I have talks with companies, I also say that AI is not for everyone. What is key here is really the data. Data should be informing what we are doing, not AI taking over everything. So if you have the right data, you make better decisions. For example, if I don't have the right data of all of y'all, I'm going to deliver a lecture without understanding my audience. If I want to hire somebody within my department, they will ask me, why do you need somebody? Where is the data? Otherwise, they won't allow it. So data is the fundamentals of everything. AI is just a tool to support it. So in terms of education side of it, I do not think that it should really replace our jobs as in all of us are here. We bring in the uniqueness of ourselves. When I'm talking to you, I look at eye contacts to see whether you are interested, what can I change, how does it look like. AI is not going to customize to that degree. If it customizes, it doesn't understand that humans are so diverse, right? But I think that AI is very useful in teaching as well. Because one thing we haven't done a lot, and I can say it as an educator, personalized learning, right? All of you here are different human beings. All of y'all have different needs. So can AI support me to cater your needs, to look at your understanding and which is suitable for you, so that in general I can support your journey? Every one of y'all, when you come to a university, whether it's this university or my university, we look at your journey. How do we provide you with the best education? And what we haven't been allowed to do, and this university, I can see that it's very receptive, very supportive, very kind. I can already see the vibe and all. But traditionally, when I studied, it was a large lecture, huge one that you go in. You're just a number there. You're not actually an individual. So imagine the power of AI where it can support me to customize things because I don't have time to look at every single detail. Because I also have a lot of things. That's where I think AI is going to be beneficial for education. And also supporting with personal tutoring some of the questions that you might ask which would be repeating each thing. I can tell you an example of IBM. Right? I've worked with them, I've gone to their office and everything. They told me how AI chatbot has been created for HR. Why? Because people just keep contacting HR about questions which can be provided by the chatbot. Personals of HR does not need to keep repeating the answer over and over again. Especially the same answer. How do I find my salary information? Message HR. You don't need to be answering that. So you have an AI chatbot that customizes it, and your HR person only supports with cases that need supporting. So that's what IBM has done. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much. But actually, I kind of have a follow-up question.
Yep.
The IBM that you mentioned actually made me think of the fact that earlier you mentioned that a lot of companies have been hiring ethical researchers for AI, correct? And it actually makes me think about how do you actually feel right now about the outlook on companies that actually do care about the ethics of AI? Because in our local environment right now, most companies don't really look forward to that because there's not really much laws regulating that, and more often than not, they downplay the amount of care they need to put out for their typical customers. But I think it's more on to the end user customer standpoint rather than in-company standpoint, like you mentioned earlier with IBM using AI to accommodate HR and help with redundant questions that don't really need to take up the time and effort of HR. That's my question.
It's very, very interesting. Oh my God, I just love the students here. It's so amazing because this kind of questions is really useful. You see, the thing is, especially in Asian countries, and I can say that because I'm Asian and I am from Malaysia. So, and by the way, my grandmother is actually born in Jakarta and she was brought up in Medan. So I'm 1/4 Indonesian as well. So I can speak for the Asian community. And the problem with us here is ethics is not really as important as other countries that are looking at. But I can speak for the worldwide organizations or anyone within the worldwide community is regulations are moving slower from AI. AI is moving so quickly, every day something else gets developed and regulation is still trying to play the catch-up game. And that's where we have a lot of problems because we don't know, but there will be a point that it's going to be standstill. And that's when I can see the regulation actually picking up. And we need strong regulations to support so that we don't do anything which is unethical. For example, what China has done, that is in no way okay at all, right? So there are so many things that needs to be fixed, and we need to ensure that ethics is the most crucial in any company. So within my course itself, I was the lucky one who was given the ethicals modules because no one within my team wants to teach it. It's a challenging one. And that is something which needs a lot more care. So I would say that I agree with you. Unfortunately, a lot of companies aren't looking for the ethics side of things. There are many companies that have started, especially in EU, UK, US, all of that, they are looking at this aspect. But we will catch up eventually. I think there will be much more work because people are really caring about this aspect. That's something that you can't walk away from.
All right, thank you so much for the answer. And one final one.
Yes, of course.
How do you, regarding to your answer, because you answered from an Asian perspective, I actually wanted to know how it is currently with the perspective of someone who lives in London and someone who's currently teaching in Warwick, because Warwick is actually one of the places I would like to go to for my master's, and I'd like to know how the local.
Yeah. So in terms of the local, obviously you have, if I use an example of Jaguar Land Rover, right? They have a whole team or department that looks at governance of AI and ethics of AI. I have actually worked very closely with the head of that department. So they have aspects of where you can use AI, what is it developed in, how does it look like, how does it impact human beings, and every aspect within the company. Within Warwick, we have our guidelines. We have ethical part as well. How do we and where do we implement? Even within courseworks, within research, everything goes through the ethics committee. So if you're looking at even the research, because masters or education within it, how we use it and all, we have guidelines. But even within research, we have ethics committee that goes through every research that is submitted. So it needs to make sure that it does not violate in any way any human rights, and the ethical aspects and the governance of AI is also covered. So hopefully that is the answer for you, but I look forward to seeing you at University of Warwick.
Thank you. You're
You're
very
welcome.
inspiring.
Okay, maybe the last question.
Yeah, sure.
Because we have the.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for your presentation. My name is Fikra, and I am from Information System as well. So, first of all, can I ask 2 questions?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is regarding what you said about sustainability, where you said that AI can help sustainability in the future, but in the real world where we train models of AI, such as ChatGPT and maybe Cloud or something else, as far as I know, they require a lot of resources such as electricity, water, and something else. I think somebody says that if you want to generate a picture in ChatGPT, it will be equivalent to like chopping down millions of trees. So do you think that the AI will offset the resources that we need, or do we have any alternative that we can use to maybe mitigate this resource fall? Because I think AI is really changing the future, but I think right now is requiring a lot of things that I think we can do in something else, because there is a lot of places that doesn't have electricity, or yeah. And maybe the second question is something that you point out as well. You work with executive in the companies, and I would like to know, you said that AI is not for everyone. So let's say I'm executive for a company that I don't need the AI. How do you convince them, or how do you tell them that what you want to do is not can be done without AI or something else? Because I believe as a customer, I don't think every company under the sun needs an AI. So how do you convince them, or how do you say that maybe you can approach this with something else? I think that's all. Thank you.
So it's a very good question, 2 strong questions. So the first one was about sustainability. So if you use Midjourney, I don't know whether you have used Midjourney, because I use Midjourney to populate photos, pictures, images, whatever it is kind of thing, and a lot of it includes it. But what I am doing with Midjourney, because it uses energy more than anything else, it actually consumes a lot of energy using Midjourney. But what I actually do is I try to save the photo or image that I use, and I keep using it, because that obviously I don't want to keep generating it. But the other aspect is I would have to pay for any other image that I need to purchase online, right? Taking my own pictures would be a good thing, but how do you come up with really attractive diagrams and pictures? Which is why sometimes I do use Midjourney quite a bit. But I try to reuse some of the images rather than, keep generating more and more energy, and a lot of people do that. But in terms of what companies would be able to do, and in the future what they should be doing, is really they are doing a lot of work in this area, because again, we are saving from here. AI is supporting with sustainability and so many other efforts like net zero and all of that with the research, with powertrain research, with machine and drives, a lot of things, the whole electrification as well. How do we use AI in that aspect? Even with the whole autonomous vehicles or electric vehicles, they are looking at that aspect. But then we are saving all of that. But how about when we can look at how we can generate all of it in terms of resource sharing, having a space where you can have photos, videos, and you charge people the same way that you're charging through any other source on Google. That might be an approach that we can look. But obviously, there's a lot of work being done in that area, but because we are at the stage that it's flying so fast, you don't have a stop button to actually not, why are we using it so much? Because they are making money out of it as well. I mean, ChatGPT, Gemini, all the other ones, they are making money out of it. This is what they are trying to utilize. And consumers buy into it and they keep using it. So we are in a stage that everybody is using it, but then it will come to a point that that will become very pertinent, that how do we save energy, because we are wasting energy here and saving energy there. So there needs to be a balance between both. But I'm sure that we will come to a stage that we will do more work in sustainability within that aspect as well. So the other part of it in terms of execs, the thing is, I said that not all of them should be using AI, right? But I didn't say that they shouldn't be using digital analytics. Digital analytics is the power of everything that you do. But sometimes you do not need AI in a certain department because it makes no sense to do it. But then within other departments, it helps with predictive maintenance, other aspects, because essentially it's automating processes. That's what AI is all about. But essentially, with execs, I don't actually discourage them, but I say use digital analytics because everyone should be using it, understanding dashboards, understanding all the different tools that you have, Power BI, Tableau, and all of that is useful. But in terms of AI, you analyze to see whether it's worth investing in that specific department within your area. And they are, to be honest, many of them are still discovering AI. So investment in AI, especially large companies, is more challenging. If you have a startup, you will have a lot of companies with a lot more flexibility to adopt AI. But when it's large or companies, it's much more challenging because you have to change a lot of the infrastructure or the processes or setup to allow for AI to happen. So again, I advise them based on their customized needs and requirements and seeing where they need to do things. But digital analytics, it would be my top priority. AI, if needed, in which area? Okay?
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your very interesting questions and the eagerness to learn. And about the ethic AI, I agree with that actually. Nowadays, I think the world is pushing to the Asian country also to apply the ethical AI. And maybe in Indonesia, we are trying to apply the personal data regulation. You know about that because my husband also work on it. And the company also, the government also push the company to apply those regulations also. So I think the ethical AI is the most important for now. Yeah. And I think it's also the interesting to study about ethical AI. And also in education also maybe.
Yes.
We need some ethical AI so that we are not like losing the student that have the critical thinking, lose to AI. The AI clever every day, but our students sometimes not study anything because they like, just using the AI as it is and not learning anything about it. So thank you for your participation, the students and the learners. I know that all of you maybe have a lot of questions in your head right now, and maybe you can just asking later. And I know maybe you are interested also to join to the Warwick University, and we also want to have another collaboration besides this work. And thank you so much for your time and your yeah, information and your lecture, and we will go back to the MC for today, Miss Gia. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much
Yes,
for
please
all your
give a warm welcome to Mr. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, Mrs. Can you please stand in front again? Because we have a small gift for you, a small token of appreciation. Because thank you for your knowledge and then you're sharing for our students here and our lecturers also. So I will invite Mr. Denny for. Yeah, let's take a picture first. Sorry, okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, Pak. Kebalik, Pak. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for Dr. Awinder Kaur for your insight and then your great knowledge and for our student. So we come to the end of today's event. We'd like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Aur and all participants and the organization of team from ICHAO. Before you leave, please take a moment to fill in the attendance and feedback form to help us improve the future of events. Please, you can scan here and then fill the feedback. And also for your certificate of participant, all right, is everyone finished to fill the form? Okay, so thank you once again for being with us today and have a wonderful day and see you in the next event. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.